Spam is a real life problem. Spam contacts are silently draining your CRM and wasting your valuable time. They clog up your automations, mess with your analytics, and waste your email sends. That's why I built an automation that quickly and effectively detects and removes spam before it causes problems. It's fast, accurate, and something our clients rely on to keep their lists clean and their systems running smoothly. I use this to maintain a high quality contact list, and honestly, I can't imagine doing it without it now. This video is informational. I've got nothing to sell here, just something that's been extremely useful for us. So if it helps you, please like and share this with someone else managing and growing a list. Now let's walk through how it works so you can set it up today. All right, so this is GoHighLevel, or better yet, our white labeled version of GoHighLevel called Marketecs Engine. And when you sign in to Marketecs Engine, you'll notice you're on the main menu here on the side, and we're going to go to Automations. Within automations, you show up at a workflow list. I like to keep all my workflows pretty tidy, create folders. So you're going to see a lot of folders here for different categories of things. However, I have one that kind of stands alone, if you will, and this is my spam filter. We're going to click to open this up, and you're going to see exactly how this is built. The way that this works is it's triggered by all the different channels that leads can come in or that communications can come in. So for me currently, and this could change a little bit for each user, for each use case, but I have a chat widget on my website. I have Facebook direct messages connected, Google direct messages, contact form on my website as well. And I have Instagram direct messages. So these are all the different ways that people will try to reach out and contact us. And as you know, if you have anything like this set up yourself, we get a ton of spam. And I was going in and just manually deleting people for like the first week we had this system set up. And I was like, yeah, no, there's got to be a better way. So yes, here it is. When you're creating a workflow in GoHighLevel, you start with a trigger, and these ones are fairly simple. You can see here, this tells you it's going to get added to this workflow. This is what's initiating or triggering this workflow. I have customer replied to a website chat widget. The reply channel is my chat widget. And there's different options. You could actually set it up for phone calls. You could set it up for all different options here. SMS messages. We don't have a lot of SMS or WhatsApp coming in, so I don't have those triggers set. I've set it up for just the ones that we're using. And I always label them clearly so that as I'm looking at my workflow, I can very easily see which item is which right in here. All right, so I didn't make any changes to that. I'm going to hit cancel. So you can see each one of these are very similar. This one just says Facebook DM, and then the reply channel is Facebook Messenger. Google, it's Google Business Manager messaging. Contact form, this one is a form submitted, so this one's slightly different. I have written in here, this is just a manual entry that I put in, and it's contact form submitted. And then the form is contact form. Now, I have a lot of other forms that it could be, and I can add multiple forms in here. At this time, that contact form is the only one really getting some spam entries. So that's the one that I have listed in here. And then Instagram DM, same concept. The next piece here is some filtering. We want to avoid what I call avoid deleting real contacts. And we have to decide in your system, what does it mean to identify someone as a real contact? These are some of the things that I set up, and these are branches that you're setting up to put people in different buckets or put contacts in different buckets. I have keep existing contacts. So in my system, somebody is an existing contact if they have already had an appointment with me. These are people they're real people. They've been in my system before. They've already had an appointment with me, and maybe they send me a Facebook direct message. I don't want them to trigger some sort of spam filter, no matter what they put in that message, because they've already had an appointment with me. Or in this case, I'm being very broad. I'm saying they have other tags already. So they already have some sort of opt-in tag or a newsletter tag. Essentially, they're just already in the system. They're an existing contact. Then I have a manual review process here. So they actually have an email address, which if somebody's coming from a direct message, they're not going to have an email address. So this, again, identifies that there's somebody that has maybe filled out some other information in our system. So they have an email, and the message is not empty. And this message is referring to a custom field right here. So your message, this is a custom field entry. within a contact record, and it's specifically tied to our contact form. So our contact form has name, email, phone number, that sort of thing. And then it says your message because it's a contact form. So I'm saying that is not empty. So this is another way, a lot of times when we get spam, it's that message is empty. So I'm just identifying that this is saying that this might need to be reviewed if that is not empty. So this is the manual review branch. And then there's none. So they don't have any tags. There's no previous appointments. The email is empty. The message is empty. I am saying there is a pretty good chance that this is spam, and I want it to proceed to the automatic review step. So you can see those three branches are very clearly laid out here. Keep existing contacts. The automation ends. Manual review, they are tagged as potential spam. So I can very quickly go pull a list once a week, once a month, depending on how busy I am, to remove potential spammers. And then there's this automated review. Again, they're tagged as potential spam because they might get filtered out with the next phase. So I still want to make sure that they get this tag in case I need to manually review them. So the next phase in the automatic review is spam phrases. So again, the initial trigger was all of these sources. They get dumped in. If they find themselves in the automatic review, it is now going to look at the actual content they sent us. And these are manually entered spam phrases. As I pull this up, you're going to see the branches are, it has one of these spam phrases, and there's a lot of them listed here. And this is just kind of through trial and error and messages that I've gotten, and I can keep adding to them if I want, or they don't. So they have a spam phrase or they don't. Those are the two branches, even though this one branch looks very long and there's a lot of content in here. And some of these are going to look familiar. I don't know how many Facebook direct messages I've gotten saying we have copyright violations, confirm, permanently deleting you, Cash App, copyright policies, 1,000 followers, page restrictions. I mean, these are all things that we've all seen. And you can add to this list, like I said, as much as you want. You can look at your recent spam messages that you've gotten and look at what you want to put in there. But these are the ones that I have found. And then I have the none branch. So here's where it says it has one of these spam phrases. It's going to go down here. If it does not, it's simply going to end. So because they were tagged up here, I am going to be able to manually review them. It's kind of like they got put into this manual review block. And that's if they have none of these spam phrases. If they have a spam phrase, it now breaks them down per channel back down to those trigger channels. And in my particular case, I have a reply that goes back to this person. And that's why I'm breaking that back down to channels so that I can reply back on the same channel that they sent me. And I can say that you've been marked as spam. If this is an error, contact us through another method. That's just in case. It's kind of a little bit of a fail-safe. I do have it set up to also notify me that someone has been deleted. Of course, I could still go back to Instagram, for example, in this case, and that direct message is still going to be in my Instagram files. Nothing's going to happen to that Instagram message. It's just the fact that it came into my Marketecs Engine account and it got connected to a brand new contact record that was created. And if it's spam, I don't want it there. I don't want it to stay in my contact record and be added to my email newsletter list or any of that stuff. Those are false contacts. So I get a notification saying they're deleted, and then it goes to this step that deletes the contact. So it actually is removing them from my entire system. Again, they got a warning. I could still go look at the Instagram messaging, so I am comfortable with deleting them at that point. I will say some of my clients that we have set this up for are not necessarily comfortable with that automatic deletion step. They still want them to get just flagged in some way and be able to go in and manually review all of that potential spam and do a mass delete once a week or whatever it is. I'm comfortable at this point in the process with a permanent deletion from my account. And the same thing happens with each one of these different options. So if it comes through Facebook Messenger, again, they get basically the same message back. There's a notification here, and then they get deleted. Same with Google. And then the contact form, that actually sends an email, but it is the same concept. Is they're getting an email back just saying they've been identified as spam and they are being deleted. And then there's the same notifications. And that's the whole of my spam filter. And you can see here how you could customize it for yourself, use different spam phrases, use different triggers. Maybe you have some specific tag that you also want to pull out. You may have existing clients that you would make sure you tag in some other way, team members that you could pull out so that they don't potentially get deleted. I kind of did a catch-all with anybody that has a tag and anybody who's ever had an appointment, figuring that will catch all of those people. That was my fail-safe there. And there you have it. When you make any edits to a workflow automation, you can see the last updates here in this workflow history. You also will save your workflow edits and publish, and that's how you turn it on. There are some settings in here. I do allow re-entry in case somebody spams me more than once, but I don't necessarily need them to be in here multiple times, nor to stop on response. Under enrollment history, you can actually see all of the people that have enrolled for this and even an execution path, how they got to the point that they're at, which is actually very interesting when you have these multi-branch automations. And you can actually see the execution logs as well. That's my spam filter. It has worked very successfully for myself and for clients. As you can see here, 106 people already gone through this. So there we have it. That is the overview of our spam filter process and automation. So if you're tired of inflated list and skewed data and wasting time chasing those fake leads, this automation might be your new best friend as well. Keeping your CRM clean doesn't have to be complicated, and with GoHighLevel, it really isn't. I'm Catherine Ferris, owner and operator of Marketecs and Marketecs Engine, helping entrepreneurs and small teams simplify their marketing with smarter tech and streamlined systems since 2009. If you find this content helpful, please hit the like and share this with someone who is ready to clean up their list and keep it clean. And don't forget to check the video description. I have dropped some helpful links and resources to get you started. Thanks so much. Have a great day.